Okay, yeah. Question is, what's the best compliment you ever receive? Oh, that is a really good question. A compliment. All right. Have I ever received any compliment? Well, I did not receive any kind of like a something compliment. Okay. Why? Okay. Let me tell you one thing about the basic science regarding about the compliment. Okay, regarding about the human thing. Okay. So basically, is this thing our humans are kind of like a somebody finding mistake very quickly. Yeah. What do you mean by quickly? Example is this thing. There is a 10 people who is actually standing in a row, but there is a one guy who is kind of like a somebody sitting. He's not standing. He's a sitting. Okay, yeah. And when you looked at that particular 10 people, you suddenly realize that why this guy is actually sitting it, why this guy, like everyone's standing and his guy is sitting. Okay, why you are not really like you like why like a basically 10 out of almost like a like basically 100 out of like everyone, like just imagine this kind of like some image in your head, and you could kind of like a first thing that you think it is the why this guy is actually sitting. Okay, yeah, because our brains are kind of like a finding a wrong thing very first. Okay, like basically we are used to look at pattern. Okay, yeah. What is a pattern? A pattern means like that ki like everyone is following or everyone is kind of like a doing a kind of like a similar structure, but there is a one guy who is kind of like a disrupt that structure, which doesn't look that pleasant, and we just kind of like a feel that ki this is something right bad. Okay, yeah, which is actually happened in our kind of like a in genetic level. Okay, yeah. And is it not wrong, by the way? Okay, yeah, basically is this thing because of this finding a mistake, that's why we are kind of like a develop these cities and technology, and that's why we are here. Okay, yeah, because we have that kind of like some capability that we are actually finding a some sort of mistake. No one species could do that very kind of like a something like a like like fluently. Yeah, like only the human, like at this moment I could say that the only the humans, or maybe almost like a mostly the human species could kind of like a finding mistakes so quickly. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, this is kind of like a something a human nature. Okay, we actually found a kind of like a something mistake. Instead of all those 9 people are standing really good in the line, but there is a one guy who's actually sitting, we are not actually focusing on the 9 people, we are actually focused on the only one person who is actually sitting. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a something is this thing. Okay, now because of this behavior or attitude or kind of like a something whatever that thing that we have, we are kind of like a something finding mistake. Okay, and we rarely kind of like a give compassion to the each other. We rarely, yeah, like rarely means like that na ki like in your entire day, like like in your entire day you hardly even receive any kind of like a compliment. If you are kind of like a something person who is like a celebrity or something like that, then might be this kind of like a something very common for you. But for the normal people, getting a compliment is like a very difficult, like a very like you will gonna get Nobel Prize, or you will gonna get kind of like some Oscar or Olympic, but complete, but the compassion or kind of like only compliment is like a very hard to get. Yeah, very hard to get. Okay, yeah. So in my entire life, am I ever kind of like a receive any kind of like a somebody compliment? um i I think I did, but I did not. Like basically I receive compliment very less, like 0.00001% maybe. Okay, yeah. And almost like a 99.9999% I'm getting kind of like a somebody criticism all the time, all the time. Okay, yeah. And I'm bitterly used to with this thing. Okay, yeah. um okay, yeah. There is a kind of like a something the compliment that I wanted to count. Okay, yes. Right now I'm doing this content creation YouTube platform. Okay, content creation, a YouTuber. Should I say YouTuber? By the way, I'm not really earning any money, but I am. So I also upload some of the content on Instagram platform too. Recently, there is a one video went viral and it got almost like a 3 million views, 3.5 million views. Okay, yeah. In this particular video, there are so many people who is actually compliment my video, the compliment the art that I perform, which is everyone likes it. Everyone kind of like somebody put the like button. They actually say that, bro, your things is really great, the legend and everything. So which is kind of like a something a genuine compliment. Yeah, because they kind of like a something watch the video, they spend time, they realize that the video was really good and they put the comments. So yeah, I feel really good. Okay, yeah. But do you consider that key is a compliment? Well, yeah, I do consider it's a compliment. Yes. But like basically the entire essence of compliment is actually happened when the people who is kind of like a like in person, who is kind of like a telling you the things that you did was something really good and by heart. Okay, not by the fake. Okay, because of that na ki, like as I mentioned earlier, humans are finding mistakes so quickly. And as also is this thing that someone is actually kind of like a lying or faking or kind of like a faking the compliment of you, or he was saying that ki, you are really good and really great, but you realize that ki he was faking. You don't really feel that gravity. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you one thing, the kind of like a something, one of the biggest compliment, one of the biggest compliment I haven't really received, but I think this is kind of like a something, one of the biggest compliment. Okay, yeah. And what is that? Like when your father is kind of like a saying this thing, I'm proud to you my son. Basically for the son, okay, for the male, like one of the biggest compliment they never really get from their father. And yeah, like basically I also never really get kind of like a somebody sad that kind of like somebody compliment from my father. Like they said that ki, I am really proud of you my son, and something like that. And and when this kind of like only compliment received from your father na, it was one of the biggest compliment, like one of the biggest, like basically no one could basically as a female person might not understand the gravity of the compliment that received from the father. Okay, yeah. But as a son, as a male person who could understand how much it is important to receive the compliment from his father, because I don't know, yeah, basically is this thing na, like mostly the son and father relation is not really that well. Okay, yeah. Basically this thing, I'm literally connected with my mother. Okay, yeah. And same as also like almost like 100 out of 90 or 95% of male person are actually connected with their mother, not their father. Okay, yeah. But they have respect for their father. Okay, yeah. But usually is this thing that ki father is always meant to be criticized their son, is because of that ki father also wanted to be that ki the mistake they shouldn't supposed to do to the mistake they shouldn't supposed to do. So they are always telling the father, always telling the what is the right way and things, and that so they never really kind of like give such a compliment to the son. Okay, yeah. But when they say that ki, I'm proud of you my son, this is kind of like something, one of the biggest compliment I haven't really received, but I will gonna receive that kind of like something compliment from my father. And it was gonna be big, one of the biggest compliment that I'm thinking it is. Yeah. Yeah, it was like a, yeah. How could you say that it's a one of the biggest compliment, not only for me but every male person, for every son getting compliment from their father, it was one of the biggest compliment I haven't really received, by the way, but yeah. But without basically this thing, other than that father compliment, have you ever any kind of like receive another kind of like compliment, have you ever kind of like get any compliment from like others? um Very rarely. Yeah, it was like a so rare. Okay, and usually, okay, let me tell you one thing, my ground situation. then you might gonna understand. I am 31. I am not earning any money. I'm living with my parents. It was really fucked up situation. Okay, yeah. How could someone give me any kind of like somebody compliment that ki whatever the things that I'm doing is right or something really wrong? So basically, if I did something really right now, my situation is always kind of like a kill that thing. That's, I don't know, yeah. Whatever. Okay, yeah. But usually I think that ki if you believe in yourself, if you believe in your craft, and if you believe in the work that you are putting, everything gonna work out. Everything will be kind of like a something that, like right now I'm kind of like somebody say it's kind of like a somebody my hustle days. Okay, yeah. I'm grinding, I'm kind of like a proving myself that yes, and I'm, and when I will gonna achieve the things that I want, I will gonna get lot of compliments like this and that, and yeah, you do this. And in that particular situation now, I might not like, I am like, I will not gonna like, I will not gonna have that kind of like somebody empathy for that, empathy or gravity for that compliment, because I don't know, I know that in the future I will gonna receive so many compliments, but still okay, yeah. Like it's a kind of like a something is this thing na, when the glass is full, then filling the water inside the glass is doesn't really make any sense. If the glass is empty and you're if you are filling the water inside the glass, then it's matter. Okay, yeah. So right now I am at glass empty situation. Okay, and receiving compliments kind of like a drop of the water, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. And when I achieve the things, then probably I will achieve so much compliment that my glass will be full and whatever the compliment that I'm getting is kind of like a something I can't control and just spill. I don't know, yeah. But at this moment, I rarely found any kind of like a something compliment. I rarely like, no, I didn't really get that many compliment. Like nothing really at all. Like at this moment, I'm not really remember at all anything. Okay, might be someone say that yeah, I'm gonna, I you are like a like I am kind of like some good person or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah. Next question.